This is the 31st Lap Podcast, recorded live in the studios of FingerLakes1.com in downtown Seneca Falls, New York. And now, your hosts, Rich Post, John Bonus, Mike Mallet, and Chris Marquardt.
Good evening and welcome to the 31st Lap. Wow, I can't even hear myself talk. There we go. All right, much better.
Yep. Can you hear me now?
Oh, man, you're blowing me out. What is all with that? Welcome to the 31st Lap, episode number 69, I believe. We got Jay Fish live in studio with us tonight. We're going to catch up with Doug Manmiller a little bit later on.
How's that go again?
It's his first time. He's got no idea how that goes.
What happened?
That's easy for you to say.
What?
Nothing. We're just busting your chops. Don't worry about it.
Thanks. You're the best. I always know that when my confidence gets too high, you'll be there to knock me back down.
That's my job.
I know it.
That's why they pay me the big bucks.
And there is Mike in all his glory. We got a new screen in studio, so Mike can
so
look
I can
at
look
himself,
at myself up there. So when my eyes are looking up there instead of at the camera,
right? He's watching himself.
I'm either watching
himself.
myself or I'm watching myself. Actually, you know what's really creepy? Is when I point up there, and then I look at my screen on my thing. It's like a delay. It's like a really bad Godzilla movie. It's awesome.
Oh boy, Godzilla reference already.
Oh man. I can't handle it. I got too much social media in front of me here.
Yeah, you know, Facebook is just one giant
Don't
message
start.
board, the same as Dirt Track Digest.
Oh my God! Don't get me going on.
Even though Dirt Track Digest, which you posted earlier today on the breaking news about Matt Shepard.
Well, it wasn't really breaking. It's been news for 3 weeks. He posted on his Facebook.
It's not even
3
news.
weeks.
He's been racing her for several years.
Yeah.
What news?
I guess it's the entertainment value of the whole thing. I don't know.
Jesus.
He's only like the 2-time or 3-time defending track champion. Of course he wouldn't go.
Yeah. I don't know.
Good grief.
Matt
I know.
Shepard,
I know
course,
my plans are to go there Saturday night, so we'll see how that goes. I haven't.
Yeah?
Yeah, I haven't been there for a regular Saturday since I announced there last year for Shane. So.
At Canandaigua, you're going Saturday?
Yeah.
So you're going to be a regular there then? You're going to be announcing there all year?
Yeah, that's right. I'm going to be covering it every week.
Because if you show up Saturday, that means
I'm obviously going to be there every week.
I saw it on Dirt Track Digest earlier. So.
Jay, what are your thoughts?
You ever seen that? You know what, Jay? You ever seen that commercial where the woman, she goes to the guy, what is it, the State Farm commercial? She's like, everything on the internet is true. Where'd you read that on the internet? And she's like, oh, this is my French model. And he's like...
That's her boyfriend. He's a French model.
Yeah.
Bonjour.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
So I read it on the internet. It must be true.
Oh, man.
That's like the best commercial ever.
That is a great commercial.
Every time I see it, I laugh my ass off.
Hey, John, on the topic of Dirt Track Digest, did that thing that we started last week get any likes about the whole teching of Tony Stewart? Or no?
No.
Nothing material
Sorry.
there.
Hate to break it to you. Didn't get you anywhere.
We were doing our part to be
punks.
Yeah.
to make poor Mike's life miserable.
Nah.
Unfortunately,
Listen, you got it. Well, never
unfortunately, must be nobody listens because
that's probably the case. If you look at the numbers.
Nobody talks about it afterwards.
Hey, somebody listens. Just so happens I'm here tonight.
So, well, I guess we're screwed. The one guy that listens is here.
Yeah.
That's all right. What are you going to do? I mean, you know, Mike's mom's tuning in. Dean's watching it.
Actually, you know what's sad? My mom probably isn't even listening.
She doesn't even know the show
No,
exists.
it's just logged in.
My dad's like, I guess the Yankees. My dad's like, the Yankees are on tonight.
Speakers are turned off.
Yeah.
Kimmy's on, but she doesn't have sound on her computer.
Kimmy's there?
She read lips.
Oh, excellent. Big shout out to Kimmy.
Hold on. Zoopy's here. Ken's here.
Ken.
Yeah.
Ken's probably our number one fan.
Yeah,
Mike and
as
I,
much
number
as he
one.
bashes all of us, he's
Mike
here
and
every
I-
week.
He's our number one fan. John's all by himself.
No, he hates me now,
last
too.
month
I
he's
think
been ripping
now
on
it's-
Mike.
Yeah.
But he's
Fine
here
with
every
me,
week.
Yeah, that's one
Yeah.
of the things. I do enjoy that part of him.
You know,
At least he's consistent.
You know, that's the funny part. What they always say
Wow, that
about
camera angle
Howard
is
Stern.
so bad.
Everybody bitched they hated Howard Stern, but they always listened. Why? Because they want to know what he's going to say next.
Yeah, I don't listen to Howard Stern ever.
Why not?
He doesn't do it for. I listen to Opie and Anthony on Sirius XM now. Now that I have it.
Yeah, well, that's only been a couple weeks now.
I know, but I love it. I'm addicted. I can't imagine now going back. How can you go back once you get satellite radio? You can't.
You can't. I've had it for
like
several years now, and no. I don't even know what normal terrestrial radio is anymore.
terrestrial radio. They have that.
Yeah. Doesn't exist in my world.
No.
So, anyway,
what do we want to talk about this week?
where'd you go? Went to 5 Mile on Sunday. Where else did you go?
I-88. You know, I gotta say this. I gotta send out a big shout out to those guys. I've sent them an email thanking them, and hey, in this day and age, there's nobody that, let me rephrase that. No, nobody, that's not a term I should use. There's not a lot of speedways
it's not the
that
best
would
move
take
to
the
make.
risk that they took on Friday night running that show. And they did it, and they almost got it in. I'll tell you, it would have been a hell of a race because the track was perfect. It had a nice sheen to it from about the bottom all the way up, 3/4 of the way up, then a nice little cushion on top. Would have been awesome. The IMCA race, everybody can, bag on IMCAs. That seems to be the theme of the week this week about 5 Mile Point. But when they come to the line and they're like that, it's a good race. I don't care if I'm watching two like freaking 4 cylinders. When they finish like this, it's a good race, So it was awesome. I mean, and the sportsman race was pretty good. So my hat's off to him. I'm just upset that I can't go back and see the double features on next week, 26th. So that is a disappointment. But other than that, my hat's off to him. 5 Mile Point, I thought was pretty good. John, what did you think?
Yeah, I thought it was all right. It was a good show.
You go, Jay? No.
Nope.
You didn't get anywhere this week? No.
Not this week. We had the swap meet over at the Hall of Fame. So
How'd that go?
That's right. That's right.
There's like 100 different dates going on at the Hall of Fame this year.
we're going to be super busy. We're kind of running the place like a racetrack at this point.
And
we're in the business of promoting events.
How many days is it to the Hall of Fame induction?
Well, we've got 47 days, brother. We're keeping track of that on the official Facebook.
Oh, is that what you're doing?
The Dirt Motorsports Hall of Fame. Yeah, we're counting it down every day.
What's Facebook?
Well, Facebook, you'll see. This young gentleman.
Yeah. Oh God.
Last name is Zuckerberg, I believe. Made
Yeah.
$1 billion bucks.
$1 billion.
Like us.
Yeah.
It's
Must
been
be freaking nice.
It's been super handy though. It's like you say, Facebook is, the second coming of what Dirt Track Digest and all the message boards, that preceded it did.
The whole world uses it now.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. I mean, it's popular. I'm not a fan, but
and it's free. That's why it's popular. If we all had to
no,
pay
it's
for
not
it,
free because I got every time I look at my own wall, I got 15 different ads from companies I don't care about.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If it wasn't free for all of us to be able to
Nothing
use
is
it
free.
anytime, nobody would go.
Everything
on
you
it.
post
if
on
we had
there,
to pay
they
a
take
monthly
it,
fee for
run
that
it,
service, who would use it?
run it through a computer, and then they sell ads based on what they steal from your information.
You just talked about those guys running a race, all odds stacked against them, and there's a lot of exposure in this business for a racetrack to try to put an event on. I learned that the hard way, over these last couple of weeks, sweating every day that we were going to get snow on the day we were trying to run a swap meet. That it's no secret we're trying to make money with it.
Yeah.
It's only $10 at the door, and we need to make money. We need a nice weather day to make money with it. It was $10 a head. Everybody and their brother that came there knew they were going to make some money, but if we had a foot of snow on the ground.
Yeah.
Without Facebook getting the word out, without the papers doing stuff for free, without media shows like you guys talking about us, we're abso-friggin-lutely screwed.
Yep.
We don't have anybody show up in the parking lot either to sell or to buy, and we're all just standing there staring at each other.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, we got a great volunteer staff over there. They don't cost a dime to staff the place, but at the same time, man, we got a lot of pride in what we do, and there's a little bit of pressure on what we're doing now at this point in the game. So it was pretty exciting to see the place fill up like it did. We had a full lot, and then we had some people out back selling whole cars, little pieces and parts, all kinds of trinkets. We had one guy with some knickknacks on his table. He had all kinds of stuff from like the 60s, like little porcelain dolls, those little dolls that come in and out of each other there. Don't take that the wrong way, being show 69 at all. But, it was pretty exciting. We had just about something for everybody there.
This is a G-rated show, man. I don't know why you're bringing
R-rated.
We
don't talk about dolls going in and out of each other.
Yeah, I don't know why you're bringing R-rated stuff into it. We bring them one time. Jeez.
My apologies.
Jeez, Jay.
Don't apologize. Don't apologize. Because trust me, this will at some point spiral downhill far faster than some dolls inside.
It's already there, man.
I was leading the charge.
Why you got such a negative attitude? That's bullshit.
I was leading the charge tonight.
That wasn't negative. That was optimistic.
Yeah. As long as you don't drop any F-bombs, we're good. So,
amen to that.
Yeah.
I don't know. That happened to me one time. I didn't know it was happening.
Yep. You just kind of did it.
It just comes out. It comes out. It's natural.
Nice.
I'll let that go, too.
Yeah, wow. I had like 9 of them fire once.
Yeah, we are digressing quicker than normal. I mean, we made
attention.
it 9 minutes and we're already digressed.
You're
It
welcome.
only takes like 11.
You're very welcome.
Here, let me help you out. Let me see. How about this? How does this feel like?
What?
Oh, I screwed it up. Wait, let me do it again.
Wow.
What are you doing, man?
Good
Screwing
Lord.
that up.
If you watch the screen, it says checkers or records.
Yeah, I can see it. There you go. You got it.
Nice.
I
All right, let's take a
I
look.
muted the computer. Sorry.
So feature winners this week. Let's see. I can tell you who won the most features. Rain.
Nice. Oh, yeah.
Well, good old Ma Nature won boatload, didn't she?
Yes, she did, and I'm going to look up. Go to my
actually a little snow,
rain, you name it. We had a little bit of everything. I got my wins list that everybody cares about in our quick results section here on Dirt Track Digest because I put the list together. I figured I might as well post it in there. So we'll start with the modified winners, since that's what most people care about that listen to this show. Let's see, Accord canceled, Glenridge canceled, I-88 postponed till 4/26. Big Diamond canceled. Ryan Watt won at Bridgeport. Canandaigua canceled. Sheridan Speedway canceled. Orange County, Jerry Higbee. I like doing that. Saturday, Lebanon Valley. That was for you, Zupi. Brett the Jet. Delaware, Matt Jester. Mahoning Valley, for those that follow the pavement, dirt modifieds on pavement. Mark Levy.
Got me curious. Yeah.
Yeah, Fauna Speedway canceled. Grandview Speedway, CBD, Craig Von Dorn, and none other than the handler, Doug Manmiller. Mercer, canceled. New Egypt Speedway, Billy Pouch. Lernerville, Chad Brockman. How about that? Shows up for the consolation race.
Yeah, he wasn't at the original show.
No,
had to start the back of the consi.
Yep, and then went up, got in through the consi, and then went on and won the race. And then
started 20-30, didn't and ended up winning. It was only a 30-lapper.
It's impressive. And then 5 Mile Point Speedway Race of Champions event was none other than Stuart Friesen. Looking at sprint car stuff, which I know about 6 people actually care about, and I'm probably being optimistic by doubling that number.
7. I'm right here.
Yeah, okay, 7. All right, Williams Grove, Corey Haas won the 410s. Austin Hogan 358s. Trailway canceled. World of Outlaws, Friday Night, King Speedway, Donnie Schatz. Attica canceled. Lincoln, Allen Crime. Sealands Grove, Pat Cannon. Port Royal, how about Doug Esch, the Hammer? Getting the, how do you say it? Schiaparelli. I can never say their name right. But the 98 Golden Sesame Street car, that car, yeah, he won their first ever Central PA win for him. So I can, Fran and shit, I can never, can you say it?
I was going to say something else.
Well, you're useless.
The Outlaws ran Tuesday in Texas and
El Paso. Yeah, I know. I was going to get to that, but you didn't give me a chance.
Well,
why do you always
skip over them? I didn't think you were going to.
No, I just said the Outlaws.
Over there.
Jeez,
Finish your mashed potatoes. Let them talk.
Those are slimming mashed.
Shut the hell up.
Schiaparelli. Okay, I think that's how it is. Schiaparelli.
Chapelier?
Yeah, they're French Canadians. No. So that's that one. Fulton Speedway canceled. Mercer canceled. Paris, World of Outlaws. Darren Pittman. New Egypt Speedway had TSRS. 305s, Brian Carver. Canandaigua canceled, as I said before. Fremont canceled. Lernerville, 410 sprint cars. Dale Blaney. And then Susquehanna. How about Fred Raymer getting another win? Fast Freddie Raymer.
He's fast in that 20.
He is having a heck of a year already. He's the leading winner in Pennsylvania. Ryan Wilson won the 358 race. That's sprint cars, not modifieds, for those of you wondering. And then that's just funny right there.
Would you care to elaborate?
Yeah, your picture was up there eating mashed potatoes.
You're a jackass.
Let's see. NASCAR. Kyle Busch. Who won the Camping World Truck Series race, Bombas?
Kyle Larson.
This has to be my favorite story of the weekend. We're sitting in the stands, and I can't remember who told me. It was either Dino or John Tiff. Like, hey, Kyle Larson won the truck race. So I told Kimmy, who was there, and I said, hey, Kyle Larson won a truck race. So Bombas sits down. Now I know full well Bombas DVRs every race that's on TV.
Yeah.
The 24 Hours of Daytona. Which
he DVR'd the whole thing.
He had to watch in
DVR.
shifts.
Yeah.
It's a
I did, too.
It's a mammoth.
I watched the entire goddamn thing, too.
So I look at
all
him.
24 hours of it.
So he doesn't even sit down for 2 minutes. And Kimmy, it might have been 2 seconds. She goes, hey, Bombas, you're Kyle Larson won the truck race. He's like, son of a... It was awesome. Just because I know he gets so mad. I'm like, oh, by the way, so-and-so, the Mets lost too. And he's like,
I wasn't laughing.
We had that live thing at the Duck Lodge down near Penn Yan, and he was sitting there with blinders on so that he couldn't see the television with it because the 24 Hours of Daytona was on in the background. And he was like hell bent. Any made any reference to who was leading anything, they got punched in the mouth twice. I mean, it was
yeah. Oh, it was fun. It was a good. Yeah, it was on like, hey, can we get the 24 Hours of Daytona on? Sure. There's like on 4 TVs.
They invented the DVR for a reason.
Yeah, so that John could watch the races and not see it
Just
live.
reminds me of the Seinfeld episode where like every time Jerry answered the phone, hey, I taped the Mets game. Don't tell me who won. And then Kramer comes walking to the door. Did you see what happened in the Mets game today? I can't believe they blew it like that. Oh, you.
They were losing when I left the house today. So
how was your?
They were losing 9-3. So I think I'm pretty safe to say that they probably lost.
Yeah, how was your mashed potatoes there, John?
Good.
Good.
You got a little right.
You want to wipe
That's all
that
right.
off your shirt?
Yeah.
Pay no attention.
Yep. Wow. So there's the winners. I mean, it was a good weekend of racing.
It was
Mother
good.
Nature, she's
She's
sucks.
what were we going to say?
Mother Nature sucks this
She's
year.
a bitch.
Yeah, I mean, it has not been a good year so far in terms of
I'm
weather.
glad you went with that instead of the other one.
Yeah, whoa. No.
Black Rock's already called off for tomorrow, from what I've seen.
Yeah,
Brewerton-
Black Rock,
Brewerton's
Brewerton,
out.
Can-Am is
And
canceled.
Glenridge.
And Glenridge is canceled already for tomorrow.
Yeah, Weatherman Ken, our resident weather expert,
Yep.
says it forecasts that they're calling for rain Saturday.
Weatherman Ken, what's Weatherman Ken think about Saturday at New Egypt?
We'll go right ahead.
We going to be good to go there or what?
Who knows? They're calling for snow up here on Saturday, right?
He
Chance
said-
of snow? That sucks.
I hope we get about 3 feet just to slow things down at work.
Yeah, great, thanks. I'd like to actually be able to go to a race this weekend. I know Utica Rome opens Sunday, so I'm super excited
That's
about
the one
that.
we're picking this week, right?
7:30, right?
Yeah, we're picking. I told him until 7:30 and 7:45. So if you want
Did I pick Billy Pouch again?
to,
But not in the race that he won, right?
Yeah, no. You picked last week. Who'd you have? You won, I think. I think you had Stuart Friesen.
Stu.
I had Bobby Varon, who almost got it.
Yeah, but that's got to be great for your points, though.
Yeah, I'm in first place. I got him by a point. I
by
think.
a mile.
Yeah, you're not sitting pretty.
No.
No.
And I'm going with Pouch again. I have to.
At Utica
I'm
Rome,
going to ride that out.
Utica Rome opener. I'm going to pick Billy Pouch.
Wow. That's a strong call.
Give
right
me
there.
a break. Come on.
Got to get him to show up first, I suppose. But
Yeah.
see what goes.
I mean,
on
he's
from
even
there.
had a free spot and he hasn't shown up. I mean, again, he just doesn't travel like he used to. But then who does? I mean, who do you get anymore that leaves? That comes from PA up to New York. I mean, we always sit here and talk about Brett Deo shows, and those are the ones that you get to see all the. I mean, this was the closest thing Sunday that we were going to see to a show like that. I mean, you had a good mix of cars,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
and you missed out.
I know.
Sat home. It's because he had a swap meet on Saturday. Couldn't go to the races on Sunday.
I had other business to attend to.
Oh, I know what that means. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you had to sell fruit.
Yep.
Whatever.
He had to go along the through and collect cans so he could keep getting back and forth to the Hall of Fame.
That's right. Hey, it's no joke. It's no joke. We got to make sure that place stays open.
I know, man.
Hook or by crook. It's funny you mentioned we are selling fruit every Friday afternoon.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, we're gonna have
awesome.
we're gonna have the community farmers market and craft event every Friday. You can come out. You can sell your wares if you're a vendor. If you're at all inclined to come sell at the Hall of Fame, it's going to be a heck of a place to do it. We're going to have a wine sommelier there. Some of the best.
Wow.
Some of the best wines in the region will be represented there, as well as a craft beer brewery is going to be on deck most every
I
Friday
think we're going to have a
afternoon.
live show from the parking lot. Of all of that.
Yeah, on a Friday
That could
night.
be a rough one for you guys. I know your
man.
past track record when
I don't
there's
know.
there's
what
beer
is
in
that?
31st lap.
Yeah, I don't know what
involved.
you're talking about. Well, since we got him on the phone here, joining us on the line now was the winner on Saturday night down at the Grandview Speedway, Doug Manmiller. And Doug, welcome to the 31st lap.
Thanks for having us, guys.
Well, it's great to have you on. We enjoy getting some guys from different regions here on the show. We try to get modified guys from all over the place. And, I know you're friends with Brett Deo, so I took advantage of that relationship to have him give me your phone number. So, again, I appreciate you taking the time out of your night. How happy are you with the weekend? Impressive Saturday night, getting a win and getting a second place finish in those twin 35s. And I know how difficult that can be at Grandview, especially when you had to start near the back in the second one.
Well, actually, it didn't work out that way. I ended up starting further front in the second one just because of the terrible finish I had the first week. So I actually had good track position for both of them, and I think that helped out. But, I mean, we had a good car on Saturday night as well.
How tough is the weekly grind at Grandview? I know that's one of the places, we talk a lot about Big Diamond Grandview, and, that's some of the toughest racing on a week-in, week-out basis.
Yeah, that's a stellar field. Every week there.
It is. I mean, on any given night, any number of guys can win. But I mean, you have at about 40 cars at Grandview, 40 to 45 cars they get, and you start deep in a heat race. You'll start 9th, 10th, 11th in a heat race, and you got to get. You want to get to the top 4 so you can make the invert, so you can start further front. But I mean, and then even so, the best I can start this coming week is 16th.
Yep.
Yeah, so that you're going to have some work to do on Saturday. Did it feel good to kind of get the monkey off the back? I mean, you guys have had some tough small issues here at the beginning of the season. You looked very strong at Selinsgrove. You were leading that feature on Friday night and had mechanical problems. Did it feel good to finally get the monkey off the back?
Yeah, it did, and as you said, we raced 5 times prior to this past weekend, and I finished once, and we were good in most of the events. We were real good, and we just had one thing or another happen, and finally Saturday night really worked out for us. Both nights, both races, we were good. I mean, we were close in the first one, and we got into lap traffic, and I got to Craig, but just couldn't get him. And then the second one, we were able to get out front and lead the thing.
You've won a lot of races in your career, different places and so on and so forth. What is the most memorable win that you've had? And then what is the race that you haven't been able to win that you want to be able to check off before your career's over?
Well, I guess I have to look back at last year's Toll Cracker as the one to win. It's a good field of cars, and it pays a lot of money there. So I think that was one of them. There's a couple that I started in deep in the field at Grandview and was able to come back up and win. As far as the one that I want to win is, of course, the 76er.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been close. I've been on the podium twice. I just need to just get a little bit more. It would have been really good to win the last year's race,
Yeah.
but any time I could win that race would be a very good accomplishment.
You did a little traveling last year. You made your way up to New York. I know you made your way up to Utica Rome, and I know the last time I saw you with Brett at Big Diamond, we were talking about you coming back to New York, and I was wondering, has any plans changed or anything like that? Any chance we get to see you north of the border, so to speak, when we talk about the PA-New York border?
Yeah, I'm gonna get up there a couple times, I believe. It's not far across the border, but we'll get to 5 Mile Point. I know I want to try and get to I-88 for Brett's race. And I'm 99% sure we're coming back up to Fulton.
Nice.
I really like that place, even though everyone said it was very uncharacteristic, rough that night because of the night before we had so much rain, and
Yep.
it was a wonder they even got to show in, with all the rain they had. But I want to get back up for that race. I'd like to try Utica again, but I don't think that's in the cards for this year, though.
How different is it for you, a guy that runs predominantly Pennsylvania? What changes when you come up north? Like, in your mind, what do you have to change, and what changes in terms of the track and so on and so forth?
Well, I think sometimes you outthink yourself and think you need to change a whole bunch of things. But the tracks up there are they're just slick. And we've down here been used to normally heavy and tacky tracks, but the last few years now that's changed where Grandview's allowed it to slick off, and the same with Diamond. As it doesn't slick off near as much at Diamond as it does Grandview, but that's where you get the racing. It's slick all the way across, so you can run top, bottom, middle, free, wide, inside, outside, and that's. I think we just got to get. We have to be more prepared about that going north like that.
What is the difference when you race? How do you prepare for going, say, Friday night to Big Diamond? And then do you change anything when it comes to preparing yourself to race at Grandview on Saturday night? Or do you go into both places with kind of the same mentality?
Yeah, you try to. For the most part, there's, the top, there's 6 or 7 guys that run both tracks, so you get used to them, and then there's some guys that just run Diamond and some guys that just run Grandview. So you have to, I guess, know the competition, so you know how to, how you want to, make moves on those guys, and when you get to them, and hopefully you can drive by them. And but as far as you got to worry about being on the wheel. At Grandview, you have to be on the wheel when you get there for the heat races, because if you start deep in a heat race, you got to be ready to go to get up front, because it's tough, because there's there's a lot of guys that run really good in heat races, and it makes it tough. It makes it tough coming from the back.
Now we got a couple. We have a live chat that goes on during the show. People can actually watch the show live too online. Again, we're speaking with Doug Manmiller here, winner of one of the feature events, like the Twin 35s at Grandview here this past Saturday. A couple of questions coming in. First off, people want to know, how did you get the nickname the Handler?
I get that a lot. That actually came from my former boss when I worked there, and what happened? He owned the race car when Greg from GMI First, and he owned the race car when I ran for him. Plus, I worked for him, and if there was ever an issue, he'd just say, "Give it to Doug, he'll handle it. Give it to Doug, he'll handle it." It just kind of worked into the racing aspect of it. Look how that car handles, or something like that, and it just kind of came to life that way.
Another question coming. They want to know who you drive for, and how. And I think you just answered it. How did you get that relationship?
Well, now who I'm driving for now is Josh and Beth Beaver. It's actually Dick Beaver's son that had 14 cars for the past 30-some years, and I just got to know Josh from going to the races, and I actually drove for Dick for 1 year up at Big Diamond, and when that Josh was actually still running Sportsman at that time, and then he decided to get out of the Sportsman racing, but he still wanted to keep all the guys together, so he decided to field the car for me. So I was fortunate that he decided to retire, but wanted to keep all his guys together.
A couple other questions here I'll ask you coming in again from our chat line. It's cool that we can have the fans interaction like this. We love it. They want to know, do you have a speedster for Kutztown? And if not, you think you're going to be able to get one?
As of now, I do not have a speedster, and at this point, I don't think it's in the cards for me getting one at this point.
Do you have a rival? Like, who's the guy that you always want to beat in Pennsylvania?
That's the way it was worded.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, running Big Diamond in Grandview, you almost have to have three rivals.
Yeah.
It's Craig, Dwayne, and Jeff. I mean, they've been such a fixture on the PA circuit for how many years, and it's just I guess a tribute to those guys that we got. You have to beat you have to beat those guys. I mean, as far as one rival there, I don't think so. I look at it as you got to beat the three of those guys. Yeah,
if you find a way to beat them on a regular basis, you're doing really, really well.
Yeah, and if you have any pointers, don't be afraid to give them.
I do have a question for you, Doug. Correct me if I'm wrong. If I'm not mistaken, your program that you run, at least at Grandview anyway, I know a couple years ago they switched and made it to where the modified guys could run alcohol or Sunoco race fuel. If I'm not mistaken, you do run gasoline, right?
Well, what the rule always has been at Grandview and Big Diamond is you can run methanol or gas.
Right.
And everybody ran methanol.
Right.
And at the end of 2011, we made a conscious effort that we were going to run gas for 2012. So we decided, we got together with VP and Bicknell and Morrison, and decided we were going to go to gas, because you could drop 75 pounds. You have a 75-pound weight break to run gas. We decided whether it was going to work or not. We wanted to try it. No one is. I mean, I know there was a couple people that dabbled in it, but didn't run it on a weekly basis, and that's what we decided to do. And it seemed to work out for us, and it's shown now that a few more people have moved to gas toward the end of last year and the beginning of this year. Yeah. So we must have touched on something.
That was going to be the other part of my question: if you had stuck with it, and if anybody had followed suit going into this year. Because what I remember hearing last year that you had switched last year. So
yeah,
there has been a few people.
And we ran it straight through, and then I know partway through last year there was a couple people that changed, and I mean I know Craig was one of them. Von Doren was one, and then I'm pretty sure he stuck with it this year. And there's a few more that have changed, like Kyle Weiss, and I don't know all of them, but I know there's a few more that have changed over to running gas weekly.
What do you think the advantage is by running gas?
There is no advantage. I don't know why anyone would run it. I mean, it's you do sacrifice some bottom end and some horsepower, but you offset it with weight.
Right.
So now is the weight enough? I've been told 100 pounds would be better, but we're doing it with 75. So I hope there's an advantage, and I mean, in my eyes, there is.
Right.
For me, anyway.
Well, yeah. Otherwise, you wouldn't do it.
Right. Otherwise, I wouldn't be doing it.
Yeah.
Another question coming in here on the chat line, Doug. What did you think about, how did it affect you and maybe other guys in Pennsylvania with New Egypt switching over to Pennsylvania 358 rules?
To New Egypt, did you say?
Yeah. They want to know what you think of them going with the rules that you guys run. Because it seems like, when you look at the rules throughout the rest of modified racing, you guys are kind of your own deal down there at Big Diamond and Grandview. So what do you think about another track adopting that and following suit?
Well, I mean, at one time we were more by ourselves, but the rules that the PA cars have now is very, very similar to the New York to the Dirt 358s as the rules go. So it's a lot closer that way. So I mean, it's just down in this area. I think that they were struggling for big block cars. So I think they saw the success that Grandview had and wanted to maybe try and catch on to some of that. I don't know. I didn't actually talk to them. I know there was a lot of hubbub on some of the internet sites about them doing it and them killing big blocks and stuff like that. But I mean, Bridgeport is stuck with big blocks, and I think that it helped them. I think that New Egypt switched, and hopefully it still works out for New Egypt because we don't want to see any tracks go by the wayside.
No, certainly not. Especially in Jersey.
Yeah,
there's only a couple
not many
left now.
Yeah, you mentioned the internet and the hubbub on the forums and so on and so forth. Are you a guy that frequents the forums? I mean, I guess if you don't want to answer that honest, you don't have to. But just wonder. I mean, I know all of us here. We read the forums religiously. That's what we do. We want to know what's going on. Do you read it? Do you get entertained by it? I mean, what do you do with the internet and racing boards and things like that?
Oh yeah, I read it. I read it. I mean, some of the stuff I find hilarious because people think that what they say, they have no idea. They have no idea what's going on. Then there's other people that hit a lot of points right on. But I do read it. It's for entertainment value, and you got to watch because if you read it too much, and then people are, if they're ripping you on there, you just got to realize, you can't argue with someone you don't know.
Yeah,
so you just let it go, and you read it, and you just take it for the entertainment value.
Apparently you can argue with someone you don't know. Otherwise, the internet boards wouldn't survive.
Yeah, you're right there. I mean, as far as I will try. I'm not going to say never. I will try very, very, very hard never to argue with someone on the internet. Like that. It's. I'd rather sit. If I had an issue with someone, I'd rather just talk to them face to face and get it cleared up that way. But the internet is very entertaining.
Yeah,
the internet is full of promoters of the years that never were.
Yeah,
that's correct. And the best drivers and the best writers and the best, they're all on the internet.
Best writers,
experts at everything. I can tell you.
The internet is entertaining. We enjoy it. Now, Doug, we don't want to take up too much more of your time, but before we let you go, we always, give whoever comes on, we always give them an opportunity if they have a Twitter that they use frequently, a Facebook fan page, website, anything like that. If you want to take a chance, mention that. And, of course, thank any sponsors, crew guys, anything else. We appreciate your time, and I know it means a lot to have, to those guys that help you out, to give you a chance to thank them.
Well, I have a Facebook account. It's just my name, and I have a Twitter account, which is Handler00, but I'm very rarely on it. I usually don't have enough time to do that stuff, but of course my kids set me up on that a while ago, and I have it, and I use it every now and then. I think I have like 110 tweets or something in over a year. So I'm really on there banging it away. And as far as thanking everybody, I got to thank Josh and Beth Beaver for owning the car and putting a good team together for me. Rick Trumbo's there. He's there probably more than he is at his house, and I got to really thank him. He does a lot of the stuff that the fans don't really realize has to be done. Tom Brennan, Tim Rutherford, Brett Colombo, Keith Swigert, Keith Owens, John Olsch, Holly and Pop Warner, Elmo Sterner. I'm sure I'm going to forget somebody, and then I'm going to get yelled at by my wife. Wife for putting up with me and all the racing I do. I got to thank Morrison Race Engines, Bicknell Race Products, VP Gas, for dialing me right in.
Well, Doug, thanks a lot, man. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oops, sorry about that. Sponsorship. GMI First, Riley and Sterner, Walnut Run Farms, Alpha Distribution Solutions, Dent Shark, and there's a few more out there. And I just got to thank everybody that's been supporting me and my racing cause.
Awesome.
Well, man, we appreciate you coming on here. Thank you again for taking the time out, and it's great talking to you. And hey, good luck this weekend. Hopefully, Mother Nature's a little kinder to you guys in your neck of the woods than I think it's going to be to us up here in our neck of the woods.
Well, it looks like it's not looking good for tomorrow night, but they're saying Saturday should be great.
All right, man. Best of luck to you. Thanks again.
Well, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Congrats on the win.
Thanks, man.
All right, thanks.
So, the handler.
The handler.
Let Doug handle it.
I love
That's awesome.
I love that answer he gave me.
Which one? That?
When I asked him about the advantage.
Yeah, none. That's a racer's answer right there. That was funny. That was funny. So
why would anybody do that?
That was the best answer he could have given me.
Yeah. Why would anybody want to do that? That's good. Those guys down there, they're entertaining. I enjoy chatting with them. They're fun. It's a different style. We always talk about it on here. It is definitely a different. It's a whole different animal down there than it is up here.
If any of the listeners have never been to Grandview or Big Diamond or in that region to see those guys race, I'm telling you have to go because it's a thrill.
Yeah, it's crazy.
See, it's a great here's time. My problem with there's a little bit more rubbing than I enjoy, so to speak. So don't go there. I can tell where you're going already.
Well, I was thinking
anywhere. The same thing.
I know. But no, there's more beating and banging. I'll put it that way. I was trying to say it nicely, but they lean on each other far more than I am accustomed to.
They're very aggressive.
They are very aggressive, and I think that's a byproduct of where you race. So those are smaller tracks. You have to be aggressive, or you can't get anywhere.
But the thing is, if it's accepted there, then it's just
accepted.
The way it is.
It's just the way it is, and that's how it's going to be. And
if you run a really tight ship as far as a racetrack, and you don't allow any of that kind of stuff, then that's how your racetrack is going to be run.
Yeah.
If they're a little looser and they let it go that way, then it's the way it is. It's the way they do it.
Yeah.
People have been coming to watch for 50 years. They probably figure they've got a pretty good formula, and if they ever stopped it and people stopped showing up, they'd say, "Oh crap!"
Exactly.
Yeah. You can't unring the bell, so to speak, in a day like that.
I gotta say,
been pretty successful for.
I had a great time last year at the Sixer.
Yeah, because
it was a great week.
Somehow I ended up getting food in Ryan Godown's trailer. That was a good time at the end of the night.
Amen to that.
That was
great.
It was a great week.
You love the racing out there just because they have methanol.
Huh? I love walking behind the cars on methanol because I'm like...
I love methanol.
It's like being at a sprint car track.
Yeah. I love the races where you can run the alcohol. Always have.
I don't mind alcohol.
the methanol.
Methanol. Yeah. Methanol. Yeah, methanol. Yeah. Yeah, I prefer all cars should run on methanol.
Yeah, I've always
with sail
enjoyed
panels and drag rubber.
The sail panels
Oh,
I don't
boy.
care so much about. I'd like to see drag rubber come back.
Yeah, that would be sweet.
Or,
Not on a weekly basis, but like a couple
Our
special
buddy
shows.
Pistol from last week, that guy that was hanging out with us, and he wants us to get Ernie Saxon on the show.
Mm-hmm. We could someday.
Yeah, we'll put a call in.
Yep.
We'll see
Ernie-
what happens.
Ernie's an interesting cat. He'd make a heck of a guest on your show, man. He could fill
He
up
likes
all
to-
the time you need.
He likes to talk. I've had him on the phone a couple times. He likes to talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you.
No. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
You know- yeah, that's the thing. Is
You're
every
one to
time,
talk.
Wait a minute. Every time we bring up the fact that John likes to talk, he goes, "No,
No.
no,
I'm not an interview guy.
You're not a freaking radio show."
This isn't a radio show. It's
Well,
a podcast
podcast.
/ internet radio.
That's right.
Get it right.
That's
Okay.
right.
Everybody, whenever I tell
Don't
somebody,
fault advertise us.
how many times have you had this? Whenever you tell somebody about the show that they don't know about it, and what's the first thing that they always ask you?
What channel's
What
on?
station is it on?
Yeah.
Right.
Fingerlakes1.tv.
Like, no, you don't get it. It's not on. the
No,
radio
we're too
station.
good for terrestrial radio.
Yeah, right. Yeah, because we're so awesome. Yeah, whatever.
So what's the story with Michael Picorni?
What?
You've been paying attention to the
Yeah,
the
yeah,
I saw
conversations
that.
that have been going on
Has
30
No.
everybody
Flat?
been notified about? I was going to ask you about that up there too.
I don't know.
No,
I don't-
I've got nothing more than he just posted that on there. And I don't know
I
if
have
that
no
was something
idea.
that Finger Lakes One was putting together, and we still got to get that. We still got to get that bed sheet up to Donnie Dana so we can spray paint that. He does
Yeah.
all sorts
I
of.
was,
murals
I
and
was
stuff
wondering
like
if he had contacted Jim or anything. I didn't know.
that. I don't know how that all came together, and I saw other people were posting on the conversation other than me, and I'm like, oh, must be this is something that somebody knows what's going on, and we'll let it go.
I'm the one that found it, and I
Yeah.
answered him under the 31st lap page,
Perfect.
and I just
Okay,
I
so we
kind
got
of
somebody who wants to advertise, and we have no idea what's going on. Wonderful.
I left it that he would probably be contacting Jim. That's why I was going to ask you if you'd heard anything.
I've heard nothing more, and I'd gladly welcome the opportunity to have the conversation with him. That's for sure. Definitely take that.
Absolutely.
Come on. We're like we're going to say no to money.
Oh, my God, no.
Who said, Jay, you guys say no to money at the Hall of Fame?
Absolutely not. I was actually standing on a corner out here out front.
Did you have the little pizza sign?
I sure did. I was spinning the old. I stole it off the poor kid trying to sell pizzas, spun around, put Dirt Motorsports Hall of Fame on the back. We need your money, folks.
He stopped 3 guys on motorcycles that drove by along the canal.
I did.
He goes, "Hey, you want to bring your bikes over for a bike show or having it at the Dirt Motorsports Hall of Fame?" They're like, "When is it?" And he's like, "When are you available?"
Exactly. Let's book it now.
Yeah.
So I can put some press to this thing as cheaply as possible.
Using Facebook, which is free.
Free.
That's right.
Jeez. Facebook, which is free.
It is.
That's
It is.
right.
Thank God for Facebook.
Nothing's free.
Absolutely.
Nothing's free.
To us, it is. I haven't had to send them a check yet, and that's all that kind of matters to me.
Yeah, I know. I
You
know.
Yeah, you got to pay your internet, your cable bill, or whatever it's under. You got to pay
Yeah,
that.
close enough.
But you're going to pay that anyway. So the being able to go on Facebook, whether you go on it or not, you're going to have the internet. So it is essentially it's free
All right,
to us.
since we're just chit-chatting here, there's a couple interesting topics that I saw on the forum this week that I really haven't gotten too much into. One of them was, what track would you like to visit most and why? And then there was another one talking about your favorite 5 local tracks. Now, I know that's tough for us because we don't want to single anybody out. I don't know if I could say local
John
tracks.
would.
but-
You should clarify that the post you're referring to on Dirt Track Digest is Northeast tracks.
Northeast tracks.
Do you want to leave it at
Northeast
that, or
you
just
would-
tracks in general?
You know, I'd like to say tracks in general. Like, is there a place that you want to go and most likely visit? And I'll start it off. Now, one place that I want to go that I've been a couple of times, and every time I go there it rains, is Eldora. And I consider that Northeast track. So,
Yeah.
I've been to almost all of them in New York that I want to go to. So I'm not, there's. I've been to. You know what's funny? I did my track count. We were talking about this last week on the way home from 5 Mile Point. When you got 5 race fans in a car, this is what you do.
Oh, yeah.
Like Dino's saying, I've been over 100 tracks. I've been to 80. I think it was 88 or 89 that I've done in my. I did a spreadsheet. That's how dorky I am today.
I love it.
I did a spreadsheet.
My kind of guy.
Actually, I could show it to you
Did
right
you
now.
Did you have the Tom Skabinski type stats where it was first win and most recent win?
No,
Did your
no.
first visit and most recent visit?
No, 88
No?
is the official. New York leads them all with 29.
No.
Pennsylvania second
well,
with 13.
obviously.
He's got it pulled up on his laptop.
I do.
That's
I'm not
impressive.
even kidding. Look, I'm
Oh,
not
no, that's
kidding.
impressive.
There
I
it is.
had no
How
doubt
many-
in my mind.
Mine's all done up with, according to each state too. How many different states you got?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Does Canada count as a state?
Nope, I counted
No,
that
but
as
if
a
you count
province.
7, 8, 9,
Yeah,
10.
Quebec and
Hold on.
Ontario are separate.
Oh, yeah, 2 different cap.
11, 12, 13.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got 14 then, 15. And I think it's 15 then with the provinces.
I got 18 states and 1 province.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, because I've
But
got
I got like 10 years on you. So
I got Quebec. in Ontario.
John's
I think the other 2 tracks are still in Ontario, I believe. So
John's had the
John's
had the good fortune of going to tracks that Mike never had the opportunity to go to because they were closed.
Penn National.
Yeah.
Actually, we've had this discussion in his car on long rides before. We each have a couple of tracks that the other has not been to
Windsor.
and would like to have.
You wanted
He's
Windsor.
got Windsor, yeah.
And you've got, what was it,
I've
Flemington?
I never got to Flemington.
There was one that...
I had been to Riverside Park, and you hadn't.
Yeah, that was one I wanted to go to.
I'm trying to think of what
Reading?
Penn National I had been to, you hadn't.
Penn National is the one I wanted to go to, yeah.
The place looked rad, didn't it? Holy cow.
Yeah.
What an amazing setup for a racetrack.
I got there once. It was a neat place.
Yeah, so the track you want to visit most in the Northeast, mine would be... I would have to say Eldora, but if there's a track, like if I had to pick one in New York that I haven't been to, Bethel, the little pavement track, because I've tried going there a few times. Every time I went there, it rained.
Yep.
And I used to live literally 15 minutes from there, and I used to go there because they started running Dirt Sportsman on there, and I want to see it. I'm like, because if you've ever seen pictures, it is literally like that big.
Yep.
I mean, it is tiny. It's a neat little place, and I've always wanted to go there. I never got a chance. So if I had to pick one in New York that I want to go to that I've never been, that would be it. What about you, Jay?
It looks like a really great venue.
Yeah.
I got to concur with that.
Yeah.
Anytime I see a picture, it's always like super clean.
Yep.
It's always like bright white in the background. The cars look pretty slick.
Yeah.
I think that I got to concur with you on that one. I guess in general, though, in the Northeast, it might sound kind of mundane to you guys, but Oswego.
Really?
I keep missing it. I'd never get over there for that.
I'd love to go to Oswego.
You know what impressed me about Oswego? It's kind of like Utica. Every time you go there,
yeah,
there's something new. Something else has been improved, or you can see where the promoter has put more into the facility. And that's why I like going there.
Glenn Stiers has got a lot of give a crap. He's one of those kind of guys who really cares. He cares about the details
that
of
dude
everything.
Spends a boatload of money on that.
I got a feeling, though, if he had to do it on half as much money, he's the kind of guy to figure it out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's one of those guys who invests as much in sweat equity as he ever does is in cash.
I know he travels a lot.
Yeah.
Every week on Facebook, it seems like he's somewhere
else, right?
On vacation.
Facebook.
Yeah, the Facebook. Here we go. Back to Facebook.
There's always, every week, there's pictures of him traveling somewhere. It's amazing. I don't know how he does it.
Well, I think he does a lot of it to connect. I mean, he's a networker.
Yeah,
I mean, that's how the guy knows as many people as he does and gets them to show up.
He's always golfing with famous people.
Yep.
Like, not even in the racing world, just famous people.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's like, how do you do that? That's awesome. What a life.
You don't even play golf.
I don't care.
I'll drive the cart.
Yeah. As long as they let you bring the cooler on the cart, I don't care.
It's always a great game plan. Be the guy that drives the cart.
I could be the all-time golf cart driver.
I might be the world's worst golfer. I'm pretty bad. You play golf?
We should go. I'm horrible. It's
That'd
horrific.
be fun.
It's a crime against humanity.
I've
United
never
Nations
played.
sanctioned
Listen,
me in the
I've hit a
past.
ball.
I've played twice in my life, and I had a blast.
I can tell you, I'm within like 8 feet of this tree. I mean, the tree's this big around. I can find a way to hit it, but I have no skill. Like, if I were aiming for it, there's no possible way I could hit it.
Yep.
But the fact that I'm aiming to go dead center down the fairway and I hit the ball 6 feet left, yeah, that's how my golf game goes.
Yeah, I golfed twice in my life, and I had a blast.
Do you remember
both
either
times.
one of them?
Yeah.
Mini golf.
I don't remember after, but I remember during. I had a blast doing it, only because I could bring my Miller Lite with me. If I couldn't bring the beer, then I don't know how much fun I would have had. I would have been more frustrated because I sucked.
Ice cold Miller Lite.
That's what he was drinking. So what's your track?
For me, we're talking just strictly New York right now?
Yeah, we'll go to New York. I mean, that's why I brought it back to Bethel.
I mean, there's a few I haven't been to in New York. Off the top of my head, I would probably say, and a lot of people mentioned it on Dirt Track Digest, in the thread would be Little Valley. I've always been interested about that place.
That place is neat.
Only because they've only run 4 or 5 races
Right,
a
that
year.
place is neat. I like Little Valley.
It looks wild. I saw sprint car racing there before.
Yeah.
Weren't they talking about the food
Have you?
there? Weren't they
Yes.
talking about
They
the
said the
food
food's
there is
amazing.
spectacular.
Yeah.
It's like
That's what everybody said.
you can get like when I was there, the special was like roast beef, mashed potatoes and gravy or something like that. Like it was freaking awesome.
Which is right on my...
Yeah, or meatloaf or something like. I remember I'm like, they're really serving this at a racetrack? Like this is awesome. And you get this plate and you're like, holy crap. I mean it's been I can't even remember what I went there for now. I mean, it's been that long since I've been there.
There's a couple others that are always been on my bucket list, like State Line, Chemung. I've not been to them.
State Line's cool. That's a happening. They'll put 250 cars in there for a race night. It's nuts.
That's cool.
You know, there's a bunch of divisions and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're not in it for the long haul, if you're not one of those folks who likes to hang around till 2, I mean, it's not going to be your cup of tea, but it's just impressive to see that many
We just
cars.
added one more track because I forgot I went there last year. Shangri-La 2.
Been there. Concrete. I've been to 3 concrete tracks.
You know what?
Which sounds...
that takes me to
doesn't
89.
sound like much, but that's amazing. There's not a lot of concrete
impressed.
tracks out there.
No. I've never been to Dover.
They're the only 3 that I can think of. Is Bristol, Dover, and
I've been to Bristol.
Shangri-La.
You hit them all.
I've never been to Dover, though. What about you there, Marquardt? Or actually, no, you can use what derby do you want to go to in the Northeast
That's
you've never been to?
Stop.
Jerk. Demolition
He hasn't been to
Derby.
the Fonda Fair Derby.
Oh, Fonda. I forgot that.
Yeah.
Book it.
I haven't been to the Fonda Fair Derby. You're right.
See?
I haven't.
I knew it.
Well, what do you want me to do?
So, do you have a track?
I don't know.
That's a no. He's like, do they smash cars there? I don't even know.
Well, yeah, they do sometimes.
Yeah, it depends on what track you go to.
How about Chemung Speedrome? You guys ever been there?
I've never, I've been to the
No.
facility and seen it, and it looks cool, but I've never. It always conflicts with stuff I'm doing.
It's funny. Way back in the early '90s, my parents and I were camping during the Glen for the Cup weekend, and on Friday night they had a special race at Chemung, and Kenny Schrader was going to be racing.
Oh,
so
man.
after qualifying was over on Friday afternoon, I headed out and was on my way to Chemung. I got halfway there, and I'd been driving in the rain, and I started seeing race cars coming back. I'm like, oh crap!
all
So
sure
I
will.
didn't even get there. Turned around, went back to the Glen to the camper, and
Yeah.
sat in the rain all night.
You know what's sad?
So I never
been to
did get there.
I've
but I
never
was
been to
going.
Watkins Glen for anything.
Yeah, I forgot that.
It's a
track, too.
party.
Yeah.
It
Oh,
is a
what are you
party.
making a list over there?
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
Of
If I
ones
can-
you have been to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, John brought up something really cool. Back in them days, that's how you kind of figured out when the races were going to be canceled or are canceled.
Yeah,
So
you
you
drove
drove
to the
there.
rain.
You
You
went-
drove there.
No cell phone or nothing.
No, you drove
I
there.
started seeing race cars coming back, and they were all asphalt mods, so I knew
No, they
where
were
they
done,
were coming
yeah.
from. I knew they were done, so I
Yeah, I
turned
can
around and went home.
remember. I can remember before like cell phones were real popular. I mean, I had one, but I would leave.
Oh, hey,
like,
Mike.
well, I was special then. That's when it was like $30, and you got 30 minutes. And if you went over your minutes, it was like $6 a minute.
Damn.
And there was no texting. There was no such thing
Oh,
as
yeah.
texting.
No
No,
way.
none of that. But
Yeah,
going-
texting
I
was
would
when
leave-
you wrote it on a piece of paper.
right, yeah, I would leave early. I leave right after work, and I would to go to Williams Grove, like to drive down there to go to a sprint car race. And you wouldn't know till you got there. Like you could look at the radar like before you left, because you had like dial-up internet, and it's
Yeah.
like the animation's moving like this. It takes a half an hour to go across the screen. Like, well, I don't think it's going to get there. And then like, I'm going to drive 4 hours and go to the races.
Yeah,
And you're like,
and we all always did it. You always
did
drove
it. You
until you
just
saw it for yourself
felt that
at
it
the
was
racetrack
canceled.
that it was canceled. And nowadays, everybody bitches up a storm when this place cancels, and they find out hours ahead of time because of the
I can
internet.
remember
All they
driving
do is
all the
bitch.
way to New Egypt, and I get in the
Oh,
parking
wow.
lot,
Yeah.
and you know who pulled in behind? Brian Weaver pulls in behind me, and he's from Central, the Southern Tier,
Yeah,
and we
Binghamton.
both find out that it's rained out
Yeah.
because there's nobody there
Nobody
at
there.
like 4:30. You're like,
How many times I ever did that in my life?
this
Drove several
sucks.
hours to pull in a parking lot, and there's not a soul there.
Yeah.
Oh, my
And
dad.
you're like, what in the hell is going on?
My dad and I were getting breakfast at Denny's one time in Hagerstown, Maryland, when I got a phone call from Tom Skaminski. It said, "Don't leave town because they rained out." I'm like, "Thanks, Tom."
Don't you love that?
thanks
Yeah.
a lot. Yep.
Yeah. Thanks, Tom.
Speaking of Brian
5-hour
Weaver,
breakfast.
I did have a chance to chat with him on Sunday. It was good to
Yep,
see him.
me too.
I mean, if you've never had a chance to talk to Brian Weaver, he is one of the funniest guys, or just a great dude to sit and
Great
chat with.
dude.
Like he's just fun, and it was nice to see him in a ride. It's unfortunate though he doesn't know what he's doing now. I mean,
Yeah.
it was a one and done kind of deal.
Yep.
Yep.
He may or may not, who knows. But he doesn't have anything together. So I mean, I'll throw it out there if anybody's looking for somebody in the Southern Tier.
I know he could use a motor.
Yeah, I mean that's what he's lacking basically.
Yeah.
So
Sounds like you got some pop can competition, Jay Fish.
so I mean,
That's all right. I wouldn't mind a little competition like
You know-
Brian Weaver. Real solid guy.
yeah. I mean,
Real
and
solid
we
guy.
we chatted for a while, and he's just like, I don't know where to go from, and I think you and John chatted with him
Yeah.
too, and he's like, I don't know where I'm at. He's kind of at an impasse. Like, where do you
He
go
is.
from
He's
here?
at a crossroads because he told me the same thing he
Yeah.
told you, that the wife has been kind of frustrated that he's still racing after all these years. She would like to see him home, and he misses a lot of stuff with the family. And now he doesn't know where his racing career is going because
Right.
of not having the equipment and the backing and things like that. He's at a crossroads. What
do you
to
do? Where do you go next?
It's almost like after I talked to him, I told Mike this same thing before he had gone over to talk to him. I felt like walking out of that conversation, like in his mind, he's almost set himself to be retired.
I don't think he wants to
I
be.
don't.
but
I don't think he wants to be either. But it's
it's
almost like he's telling himself this is
it just shows you
setting
where
himself up for, so it's not a huge fall.
where
if he does.
unfortunately our sport is going at this point, where guys that should have rides can't get rides. I mean, if I'm looking at Southern Tier, if I'm going racing down there,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm making a short list of guys that I may hire, he's got to be on that list.
Absolutely.
He's got to be. I mean,
Yeah,
who else? I mean, you look at the statistics. 18 or 19, something ridiculous amount of championships in the Southern team.
Yeah.
So
he's been doing this a long time.
Yeah.
He's got the experience. He's got the knowledge, the know-how, the talent, everything to go with it.
Yep.
That's the crying
shame. It's just for him is the money.
And that's I mean, unfortunately, that's where we're at now with everybody. It seems like, the big ride or the ride, even the big. We're not even talking big rides anymore. Just a ride. It's just not there anymore.
Yeah, prospectively, I mean, guys get to spend an awful long time in our sport, though. If you think about it. You know how many guys you talk to every weekend at the racetrack. Oh, I've been doing this for 20 years or 25 years or longer.
Here's my question: where do we go from here? I mean, because one of the big things that people have been talking about is that next Hall of Fame class. Mm-hmm. It's like the Alan Johnson, Brett Hearn, Pat Ward era. Like, who comes next after them? They've been doing it for how long?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, who do you have coming? I mean, you got Stewie, you got Matt.
Yeah, because it seems like we're going to lose a lot of guys.
Mike Mahaney.
I mean, in a matter of a few years span, we're going to lose a lot of people.
Yeah, and then who comes next? Like, who is the next generation of guys that are coming into
these guys have raced for so long. You haven't seen that top tier success for such an extended period. The way that this group of drivers has, and then in the midst of all that, you've seen all these teams that were top tier teams go away. Mm-hmm. And when you look at that. Look at the people that got out of racing that said, "Oh, I'm going to take a year off," and after that year off, they never came back.
And there's no middle ground when you talk about that. The group you're talking about, they're all in their 50s to 60s,
right?
And then the newer stuff is the guys are in their 20s,
late
or
20s,
maybe
early
30s.
Yeah,
there's no middle ground. Who's in the middle?
I mean, Barron would be the guy that comes to mind. That's kind of in the middle. He's in
Brian Weaver.
There's a handful.
Weaver's at 50, I think, almost.
Is
50.
he really? I didn't think he was
40.
He's been doing it. He told me he's been doing this for 30 years. I know he's been doing it a long time.
Yeah, so I mean, he's up there too.
So you've got Bobby Barron and
like middle-aged guys. I hate using the phrase.
Not old.
Chad Brockman.
Gary Tompkins is another guy kind of comes to mind too. Ken mentioned.
Chad's I think in his early 30s.
How old is Billy Van Pelt? He's probably in his
50s.
He's up there. Yeah, he's
been racing a long time.
Yeah, I mean, it is a gap though. There is a
gap.
There was like a whole generation almost where skipped it.
Where they didn't have a chance to do anything. All the big rides were occupied. By all those guys. The success was occupied.
Well, you know what? A lot of them moved on too, doing other things.
Yeah, like Tim McCready would have been a guy that would have been here. And
other forms of racing, whether it's a late model or sprint cars and stuff.
A
lot of them moved on.
Tim Fuller's another one.
The guys that would have probably
he would be in that middle group.
Right,
he'd be in there.
Right, in that age group. Yep.
Well, no concerns for the Hall of Fame. I have good news, and the good news is this: we put a lot of guys who don't just run dirt modifieds in there. Jim Champine's in. And for the most part, you guys, first thing that comes to mind ain't dirt racing when you think about Jim Champagne.
No.
Right.
Super modifieds, and we put a lot of guys in of that ilk.
Yep.
Jerry Cook is another one that comes to mind. He ran an awful lot of dirt, but mostly asphalt modifieds. Found a lot of his success on the.
What about the NASCAR? You think he'll get into the NASCAR Hall of Fame?
Jerry Cook?
Yeah.
If
he's up for it, right?
If there's any stinking justice in this world, yeah. But we were the ones who put him in first.
There you go.
And everybody should remember that.
I enjoy the fact that this year you're putting in Frank Cozy. That's awesome to me.
Yeah.
I love Frank Cozy. Yeah. I love chatting with that guy. He is so funny.
How did he feel about it when you guys told him?
Psyched.
Same.
He's coming. I mean, what can I say about how it's set up? We're in prime time this year. We got a 7:00 show. We got our own standalone deal this year.
I saw that. You're doing it during the week, right?
Frank Cozy probably had the same reaction to that as when he won Syracuse. We're like, yeah, that's cool. Inside, he's probably later.
The reason I bring that up is because we all know when Jack was presented with him going into the Hall of Fame several years ago, he didn't want anything to do with that because he was still racing. And I fully understood. A lot of people got offended when he did that. I fully understood the point. He's still racing. He was not finished yet.
No way.
Now him going in last year made sense. He isn't going to be racing anymore, so it made sense. But before that, he was still racing and winning races. I'm not ready for that yet.
Yeah, I mean, but that's
why I ask you how Cozy responded.
I mean, that seems to be how the Racing Hall of Fame stuff is, though. I mean, you look at the Sprint Car Hall of Fame, you can get in and still be racing.
Right.
Fred Raymer's a Hall of Famer. Kramer Williamson's a Hall of Famer.
Yep.
You know, these guys get in, and
Chuck Hebing's a Hall of Famer. Well, next year.
His wing is. His wing panel, right? Yeah.
Yeah, we're pretty lucky to have that. That was really nice of you guys to be able to donate that to us.
It's awesome.
The great thing about our Hall of Fame is this. Guys' careers last so much longer. You think about an NFL career. There's guys in the NFL Hall of Fame right now that played for 5 years. 5 years. You got to put a hard 20 in and pay your dues in this sport, in our sport, in order to get into our Hall of Fame. And a lot of those Hall of Fame careers that we're going to be able to celebrate here in 47 short days, not all of it was peaches and stinking cream. There was guys looking for rides just like Brian Weaver, who you never know when your last race is in this gig.
No.
Ask Brian Weaver when he thought his last race was going to be.
Right.
I can guarantee
you know what? I actually had the conversation.
Right.
You want to know what he told me? He goes, I always thought I'd be one of those guys that died getting out of a
Yes,
race car.
he
Like,
said that to me too.
yeah, like I thought this would, I would
He
race
did.
my whole life, and then you know,
Boy, that's tough.
How can you not love
Man.
the sport when somebody says that?
I mean that's what I mean. When are any of us going to leave the sport? To me, this is what I do. I mean,
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, I'm
I
going to
can-
die in a grandstand.
I
Yeah,
can
I mean-
quit anytime I want to.
Well, a couple of us in this room have burned up marriages probably as a result of the racing fix here. John, I'm going to warn you. What's
no, he's lucky.
You marry a racing chick.
She's
Yeah,
into
see,
it.
yeah.
That's where you screwed up.
Yeah, we burned down a couple, didn't we, brother?
Yeah. See, I'm good. I'm good now. I'm
Yep.
living a dream. My cats don't complain when I come home late.
Meow? Okay,
Yeah,
I'm good.
only when my basement
Hey,
floods. Like
wait,
it did this week.
let's not get your cats involved here.
That's your business.
Yep. Another question came in. What is our favorite track? Now that's a tough. John
I
and
have
I were
too-
actually
I have
we
too
were actually
many.
talking about this on the way out. Now my favorite track, like, and I'm of all the tracks that I've gone to, my favorite is Knoxville, no doubt about it. And I think, and here's why, and I
was
think
bummed out to hear that. I figured you were
no,
gonna say Orange County.
listen. No, I love Eastern States, but no, but I love Knoxville simply because of the atmosphere and what it means to me. And I've never been there for a regular show, so it could totally suck. But I don't want to ruin that image of it.
Yeah.
Because for me, Knoxville is the Knoxville Nationals. That's what I.
When you pull into that village, just the aura of
Just
seeing that track the
everything that-
first time, it's like, holy mackerel.
Yeah, like you just.
There's
it's
just an aura about the
It's
whole
a presence.
thing.
It's a presence. Now, if I had to pick tracks closer to here, if I'm going Northeast tracks, you know what I'm going to say. I grew up at Fonda.
Yeah.
Fonda's my favorite track, and I love Orange County too. Don't get me wrong, because that's like that was my later years. That was like my second home.
Do you
until-
have to have been to a track for it to be one of your favorites?
I would think so.
Yes.
Yeah.
I said that to him because, like he said, we were talking about it on the way here, and I said that I got a lot of favorite tracks I haven't even seen yet. There's a ton of places I would love to go, and I know they're awesome. I just haven't been
Yeah,
to
well,
them
Dora.
yet.
I know it's awesome. I've just never been there. Well, I've never seen a race
I
there.
mean, I want to go to Gas City, Bloomington.
Yeah, you watch a lot of video.
All those
I mean,
places.
Yeah. You know what's always weird though when you watch a track on video and then you actually go there, you're like, this looks the video did
No.
not do this justice.
No,
Like,
because you don't see the surroundings.
yeah, it doesn't give you the full effect of what you're actually
Right.
seeing.
When you
Yeah,
first pull off the road and see
Yeah,
the sign. or
like
whatever.
Knoxville. Anytime you watch video from there, it's like 10 miles up in the air because they're up on top of this huge freaking grandstand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when you're there and the car goes by it,
But you don't
190 miles an hour. You're
But
like,
even that, you
"Holy
don't see it when you get to Knoxville and you pull in the village. If anybody out there has been there, you know what I'm talking about. When you pull in the village, and you whatever the road, what route is that? Whatever the route is, when you pull into the village, the track is on your right. It's literally right on the sidewalk. So as soon as you pull into town,
Boom, there it is.
It's right there, and you don't see any of what you're talking about when you what you
Watch
see
a
on
video.
television.
Right. You don't even see it.
This is the outside of the track, and there's a wall there, like a concrete
says
wall or
Knoxville
whatever.
Raceway,
and then
yeah.
the fence is on the other side of the concrete wall, and it's like right next to the
Literally,
sidewalk.
turns 3 and 4 are in the street. Like, or excuse me, 1 and 2
One and two
are
are
in
right
the street.
on the sidewalk.
In the street, yeah.
Like you could be driving down the street or walking down the
car could
sidewalk,
come
and a
flying
wheel
over.
could come flying over the wall. It's
What
insane.
What night of the week do they run?
Saturday
Saturday.
nights. We making a 1-day trip?
We should go.
Let's do it.
Let's run and
I'm
go
in.
now.
It's
Well, I
worth it.
talked
The
to
Hall of
Tony
Fame is
Bacco.
right next
Tony
door.
Bacco told me if I ever came out for a regular show, he'd let me call a race.
Oh,
That's
Oh.
all I want to do.
you ever
is
do
call
that? You're
a-
taking
Oh.
me with you.
If I ever call a race, I'm done.
What do they
Call
call
them
their
now.
What do they call their street stocks?
Yeah, I don't care. I don't
I
care
don't
if
think they got 'em,
I'll
do
tell
they?
you this. I don't care if it's a 3:05 sprint car race.
Yep.
I don't know if they got street
And it's a
stock.
6-lap heat. I'm in. I don't, and if
Oh,
I got to
you
drive
kidding me?
15 hours each way to do it, I'm in.
And put it on the resume for the rest
yes,
of your life.
Exactly. That's
I
Put it
know
on
they
the
run the
resume.
2 classes of sprints. I don't know that they got.
they run
street stock.
305s occasionally.
Right.
It's weekly's 410 360s, but then they
Right.
run 305s once in a while. Every now and then, like a rare occasion, they'll run like the UMP modifieds.
Yeah, they don't
and
have a
late
street
models
stock
once. In a
right
while.
now,
No, they don't run
that I
any.
know of.
No. They don't.
Thanks,
But
thanks,
it's-
thanks,
they're-
Captain Literal.
I could be a smart ass here and say, but I'm
Yeah,
not
well, they
gonna.
don't have those.
There is definitely an aura about the place when just pulling into town is.
Yeah.
It's special.
See, you know
it's
what's
special.
funny? As a kid, that's how I used to feel when I went to Fonda. Like I can remember, my parents. I could not wait. Like you pull in the Fonda and you're like, oh, excited, like yeah,
I
like
know.
you know,
Yeah.
I know.
and I don't know where you grew up going, but it's the same thing. Like you always had. Like,
I don't
there's
know.
just that mystique about.
You could always let them talk, and you probably tell you.
Yeah, I will. I will. We're getting there. You know what? Shut up and produce. All right.
Hey, I'm doing just that.
My moment kind of like that was
Thanks, Jay. Mike.
the the first time I ever went to Williams Grove was kind of that moment.
I do love Williams Grove.
Yeah,
too.
hey, we're kind of in the midst of gods here, sort of. You know what I mean? That's how it kind of felt. I pulled in, and I was that blown away.
Yep.
They got that little stinking sign out front that just says it's just a picture
You
of a
got the
sprint
little-
car, Williams Grove Speedway.
You got
that
the little
way.
carnival across the road. there.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah.
cool. I mean, that stuff is cool, and it's like when you go to PA for the mod races, or you go down there for the Central PA sprint car deals.
Yep.
You're right. The people are different. People are still invested and bought in, and just they live and breathe it.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's,
They do.
Hey, message boards and all like they're on those, but they act the same way they do on the message boards there at the deal.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yes, they
It's
do.
intense.
If they hate somebody, they hate that person.
Freaking love that.
Yeah, there is
Yep.
no hiding it. And I thought it was cool a couple of weeks ago when I went down. Dietrich won, and he got out of the car in turn 3, and he saluted all the fans on Beer Hill. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Beer Hill gang.
Yep. So I mean, there is definitely a different mystique, to Williams Grove. There's no doubt about that. I didn't even bring that one up. I stayed strictly modified track. I like that you did though.
And I'm all about
You just scored points. You might be
But
able to be on again.
You didn't stay strictly modified tracks. You said Knoxville.
Well, Knoxville first, but I'm saying locally.
Yeah, but he qualified it. He said that wasn't his local favorite.
Right.
I guess I can be a little bit politically incorrect. I got to say Brewerton.
Yeah.
I
there's
think
nothing wrong with that.
I think that's my favorite local track. I just dig what it's a Friday night. It's a night out for all those people. Like, hey, they've been getting their butt kicked all week by their boss at work, and Friday night they're going to go out and just let loose, and they do it.
Brewerton's a great little bull ring.
Yeah, sure as heck
It's
is.
right up
man.
my alley. I love those little bull rings. Always have. My favorite track. I don't know. You guys already know what I'm going to say. It's Tulsa Expo Raceway. Always,
Oh, my
I knew
God.
that was coming.
Amen.
always will be.
Local.
Always will be. As far as local, it's tough.
No, I want you to give me the answer you gave me in the car.
It's tough because Fonda will always be home, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's my favorite racetrack. It's my home, and it's special, and it means something to me,
Right.
big time, because I grew up going there. It's the first place I ever saw a race at 3 months old or whatever the hell
Right.
I was. But it's not necessarily my favorite
So what is?
racetrack. To narrow it down, it's hard. If you want to talk strictly New York, my two
Did
favorite
you-
tracks in New York are Brewerton and Fulton. I love those.
How did
Right,
you
there you
answer?
go.
How did you answer it in the car? Is that how you answered it in the car?
Yeah, similar. Yeah.
Well, I never really did answer it. I just
Oh,
He kind
I
of
just
kept
said Fonda is
beating
my-
around it. Didn't want to give it to me. So
I can't because I can't narrow it down to just one. There's a lot of tracks that I love that I've seen great racing at. I love Grandview. I love Big Diamond. I
Yeah.
love Lincoln.
Yeah.
Lincoln
Yeah,
is
I know.
awesome. So is the Grove. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a ton of racetracks
Yeah.
that I've seen that are great racing.
it's. It's easy for me to say this is my favorite. I mean, because hands down, that's where I like. But these guys, they're talking. Attica Hilltop. Now, Ken, I don't know if you're referring to the Hilltop in Ohio.
It's the only one I know of.
You
Is
remember
there
there?
another one? Oh yeah, the racing was good.
Yeah, we were talking
It's
about.
dumpy and it's
We were
It's
talking about
dumpy.
that the other night because Bombas, I stick the camera on him when we're doing those video blogs. I had to take like 3 takes because he could not swear.
Oh,
'Cause
boy.
it was so hot.
Well, we've been doing this for is the fourth day now.
I remember that trip. I never found you. Okay.
95 degrees out. And the whole time he's doing the blogs, every time he does an update, he says, "Now remember, you can't be swearing in this thing because I have a tendency to have a potty mouth a lot."
Potty mouth.
Especially when it's
Well,
98
it's
degrees.
95
and
degrees.
you're in the desert.
We're baking in the sun. There's nowhere to hide. There's no shade, nowhere to get out of the sun. And he puts that stupid thing right in my freaking face. And I blurted something out, and he's like, "Oh, God damn it. I have to start this thing over now."
It's too effing hot is what you said.
It was freaking hot.
Good times. Good times. Yeah, so... I mean, it's hard, though. I mean, to pick a favorite track. There's places... Like, I love going to
It
Brewerton.
is.
I mean,
Yeah,
and
sure.
for different reasons. The modified racing is great, and it's a mile from home. I mean, I love going there. That helps me.
I've been to a lot of places and saw some great racing.
Yeah, I mean,
and then
it-
I've seen some places that are great, and the racing sucked. So, I mean...
Yeah, you don't know.
you
There's
just-
no...
I don't... It's to narrow it down to one track. What is my favorite? It's very difficult.
I think if you put a gun in my head, I think that's the one I would pick. They're Oswego, I guess. Oswego's where I kind of grew up
See,
watching
now
races.
Yeah.
I love Oswego because of the history about the place.
Right.
It's old, and a lot of people have raced there over
Oh,
the
yeah.
years. But to be perfectly honest, I'm not a fan of the racing. The racing is not that great. That's just my personal opinion. I'm not a fan of the racing, but I love the place.
It's
I love the place.
It's the same
because of
mentality.
the history.
Same mentality. You don't go to Fenway for the ambience. You know what I mean?
Right.
You're
Yeah,
going
you go to
Everything's instructed.
I've been there one time. When I first saw that place, you see the Green Monster for the first time. It's like, wow, there's the Green Monster.
Yeah.
I've only seen it on TV, and it's an old ballpark, very old.
Yeah,
but it was cool just to be there.
Yeah,
right.
I got to mention the reason I didn't mention Utica Rome is somebody asked me other than Utica Rome, and which of course I do love Utica. I get to work there every Sunday. It's freaking awesome. So
it is pretty awesome.
So that, I want to make sure I make that clear, and I wasn't neglecting Utica for anything other than they asked me other than Utica Rome. So
okay,
fair
enough.
Get that out there.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Yep. So what do you think? What did you think? Another one of the topics I like using the topics on the forum because I don't really say much on them. I just kind of throw my 2 cents in.
No,
and
you
move
don't
on.
usually get involved.
No, I stay out of that stuff. I'd rather come on here and talk about it. It's more fun for me. But people were talking about the poster featuring Brett Hearn and Stuart Friesen. Did you see that or no? The picture of that. What do you think about advertising like that?
You're talking to the wrong guy if you want me to object because that's all the advertising I do. I think it's a perfect way to advertise. I have no problem with it whatsoever.
No, it's obviously the smart thing to do for Howie and Lyle with the way they're promoting Malta. Why wouldn't you do that? Yeah. I know some people are taking offense to it because there are other racers there, and there are. But let's face it, the majority of the races there are going to be won by those two guys.
Well, let's highlight a rivalry. There's nothing wrong. Think about this.
That's my only problem.
We could go back to Fonda. Let's say 80s. With CD and Jack. You could make a poster and put CD Koval and Jack Johnson on it.
Back then it was
Leif Luzero, right? But you could still do that. And nobody could really be offended because Jack and CD were huge rivals.
Right.
Sport was built on rivalries.
Right.
Yeah.
So.
Well, here's my only beef with it, and I said the same thing on Dirt Track Digest in the post. I think it's smart with what Howie and Lyle are doing. I understand what they're trying to create, but right now there is no rivalry. There is no rivalry. I posted right on there. You can read what I wrote. When we went to 5 Mile Sunday, we were over there talking to Stewie after the race was over. And I asked him about, I said to him, thanks for participating in my fantasy league and donating this stuff. He said, oh, no, it's no problem. He goes, I got to tell you, I called Brett the other day. He goes, I was breaking his balls. About those two competing against each other because league. They're both celebrity drivers in my fantasy league.
Yep.
So they're doing chatting on the phone, trash talking each other about the fantasy league. So that I said that's the only rivalry that I know that they have going on right now is my freaking fantasy league. I still think not with what's going on Friday night. But there could be.
I think last year though there might not be a rivalry between the drivers specifically. There's a rivalry between the fans.
Fans, yes,
sure.
Oh yeah,
yes.
Because if you're a Friesen fan, you are not a Hearn fan.
No, and vice versa.
Right.
So there could be a rivalry in the making because of all this now.
Right.
So I say, he's smart for doing it, but right now he's trying to create the rivalry because there isn't one yet.
I'm all about it. A crowd draws a crowd, and that's how rivalries are made. It has nothing to do with the drivers or sports teams or whatever you want, whatever analogy you want to use. I think it's a perfect way to market those two, and they might not have a beef with each other, but the fans do, and the media can help perpetuate that and
the minute
generate that.
One little thing happens between those
it's going to be huge.
It will escalate.
Oh, it'll be huge. It'll be great.
Then there will be a rivalry.
It'll be fun. Yeah.
Then it's proved
so
that
the first week we need one of them to run over the other one.
Yep.
And then we'll be good.
That's the genius in it. That's the genius in it.
So now what's going to happen when Shepard, because Brewerton canceled, he rolls in there tomorrow and kicks their asses in the opener? What happens?
The rumors start. He's going back. He's going over to Saratoga, Lebanon Valley.
Oh, boy.
Oh, God, good stuff.
That's what's going to happen.
Who knows? I don't even know what's going to happen. I mean, depends on the weather. You know what? Last week we said nobody was going to race, and I-88 tried, so I can't say it this week. I was impressed. That they went for it.
I was shocked when you guys said you were on your way there. I'm like, why are you going there?
Well, here's the funny. John and I are in the car, and I'm looking at him. I go, dude, we looked at the radar. We know the forecast. We're idiots.
What are we doing?
We're idiots.
But everybody keeps saying they're racing.
They're racing. So we're going. How? We're going. I got it. One of the first times I ever went to Afton, it was when it was Afton, wasn't I-88?
Yeah, that's what I still call it.
I did the old, I'm in the parking lot, and I called Janet Jordan, who's the promoter there, which I knew her, but she didn't, I knew her, but I wasn't working there or anything. We weren't close friends like we are now.
Right.
I go, hey, you guys racing? Yeah, we're good. Sun's out here. I said, what track are you at? She goes, what do you mean? I'm like, I'm sitting in the parking lot. She's like, oh, and it's pouring.
I love it.
Busted.
Because I remember, Pat used to tell me to do that. The promoter there is like, we got to tell them it's not raining. I said, yeah, because they're going to not know. I used to argue with them all. I'm like, give me a break, Pat. You can't do that anymore. That might have worked in 1968, but it don't work now.
Right.
Everybody's got radar on their phone. I'm like, you can't,
Yeah.
I mean, we've all called the track. You guys racing? Yep. Like but as a promoter,
They
you
always say that.
can't say no. How can you say no?
No.
Because you say no, then people don't come, and then you do race,
And
then
if
you're
you
going to
do
go
get it
broke.
in, yeah,
That's right.
exactly.
Yeah, so you have to say yes
And then
until
they're
you
pissed at
get.
you for life because they told you it was raining and they weren't going to run, and then they did.
Yeah, I know. So it's a lose-lose.
It is.
Get him in the parking
That's why
lot.
you put a recording on the phone.
Yeah, and you don't answer it. We're racing. Divisions to be held.
That's usually Fonda. It's just a recording.
You might want to turn your mic on. There
Yeah,
you go.
I didn't need it.
Oh, you're producing.
Yeah,
You're doing a hell of a job.
Yeah.
knocking it out of the park. I haven't made it. I don't think I've made a mistake since I screwed up the Checkers record stuff.
You haven't been talking.
Haven't had to.
Oh man, we're ruthless tonight.
When's your first demolition?
It doesn't
derby?
matter.
We don't care.
Oh my god!
It's next week.
Listen,
Next
Come
week,
on,
Jay.
man.
Jay, here's how this show works.
Yes.
Every 3 weeks, we let him talk about demo derbies for 5 minutes. Him and I go outside,
This is not your week.
go to the bathroom, get a cigarette. This isn't his week. He had it last week, so we're good. We don't have to let
No,
him
He's
talk.
got a demo next week out in Cheyenne.
The history. It's like I'm among gods.
It's kind of like a marriage. Every 3 weeks or so, you get to have your time in the in the spotlight, big guy.
Wow.
And you burned down marriages. I can't believe it.
Wow.
We took one out. Casualty of war and racing.
Yeah, you don't say.
I heard through the grapevine.
See?
You booked one in July for Anchorage. Is that right?
We haven't confirmed it. But how'd you hear about that?
Is that the 24 hours of light, or is it 24 hours of dark up there?
I hope it's daylight.
You got to time it right, bro.
You know, you were real
man.
close.
July would be daylight.
You were real close to getting an answer on that question.
Wow.
I was trying, bro.
Thursday night. There's not going to be a 31st lap. I'm leaving for Champaign, Illinois, and we're going to be out there for one of the biggest derbies in the country. Which
This
is gonna be
Thursday?
cool.
Next
Yeah.
Thursday? So
Yeah,
we
so
don't have a show
25th.
next Thursday?
So next week there's no show.
Next week there's no show. No.
Nice.
Nope. We're not going to have
That's
a
good. I gotta-
program. Mike's got baseball, so we're going to take
baseball here in a couple
week
weeks.
off.
Yeah, I'll be.
regroup.
I start up now. Freshman Tuesday, Thursdays are my games. So
All right, man. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Good
yeah,
luck.
I need it.
Should I? I'm surprised you haven't asked me about my new adventure I'm going on.
Why would I do that?
He doesn't read Facebook. Well, we're beating on Facebook. We'll just keep going.
I love it.
Go on.
I will be
Okay, that's great.
beginning on Saturday as an ARDC official.
You know what? We got to
First
kick
race.
it. You know
First
what?
race, New Egypt on Saturday.
You know what? Hey, whoa! He's off now. He's off the show because he's supposed to be the fan.
Yeah.
Now he's
Yeah,
official. You're out.
official.
You're
Thanks.
out.
That's
Thanks for
midgets.
coming. The
You guys
breaking,
always say that they don't count.
no,
well, they don't.
and here everybody thinks I don't read Facebook. I just want to now that you've brought that up, we can release the official news that John is being replaced on the show by Jay Fish.
Surprise! Surprise! Surprise!
Hello, everybody. This is what you got. Sorry.
Oh man.
Actually, Jay's going to be on fairly regular now that Rich has got the recurring conflicts with work and stuff like that. We're going to try and juggle everything. That way, Rich can still have a hand in what's going on here on a semi-regular basis. And when his load lightens up, maybe we'll be able to get him in more frequently. But the interim, I think Jay's going to be out here a little bit more frequently. And by all means, if there's anybody that wants to come in and grab a seat here with us, they're more than welcome to come.
Nice. You can see it right here next to me.
That
is
would be
one
a
of the-
reason why they're not going
That is by far and away one of the creepiest things that's ever been said on this show.
That's good. Then
Yep.
Nobody will see her. That's perfect.
All right.
Just you wait.
A couple other things I want to bring up just for somber note, or not somber note, positive and some sad news we got this week. First, I want to say it was great to see Mike Colston race on Sunday.
Oh my God.
A lot of us, if you read Facebook, you know that he was real sick over the off season, and they weren't giving him very good predictions.
No,
you know?
not at all.
So it was great to see him race. He's still, I talked to him for my column this week on Dirt Track Digest, and he mentioned he's still going through radiation treatments and things like that, but he's going to hope to do as much racing as he can. So that was pretty awesome to see him race on Sunday. And everybody can debate whether he won that heat race or not. I'm sorry, they said he was the winner. He's the winner. Everyone was like, "Whoa, he didn't win." I'm like, listen.
Who the hell said he didn't win?
Oh, they were arguing. Oh, he lost by this.
It was a
whatever,
heat race.
Whatever. But so it was a great race. Who cares? Okay,
Yeah, he
was
passed Stewie. It's not
Right.
like he was leading and Stewie was getting him.
Right.
He passed him.
which was awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the first thing. On a sad note, we lost Ed Kaiser this past week, and that's for anyone that goes to Fonda Speedway. Ed and his wife are the ones that run the kids club, and really nice people. They're there every week. It's Carol Palmer's father, and they do a lot for racing. Their family's great. They do so much, and very sad. It's a sad thing for all of us that know Ed. If you come to Utica Rome, they always sit down in the front row, right when you walk in, just to the right of the flagger. They're the front 2 seats, bottom row. And they were great people, and my thoughts and condolences go to the family. It's sad to see Ed go, and he'll definitely be missed at the racetrack.
Yeah, and while we're on that note, it's been a tough week in this country. All our thoughts and prayers and condolences to everybody affected out there in the Boston Marathon, and then the deal in West Texas, last night or whatever it was.
This morning.
It's been
tough couple days.
Oh,
yeah,
awful.
Seems like we say that every week, unfortunately.
Yeah, but that deal with that Boston Marathon stuff was crazy.
On a good note, they got the photos up now. We're going to catch these sons of...
Let's hope so.
Yeah.
That's the lowest form of humanity right there. And I hope when they catch them,
Yep.
give us all a shot at these sons of guns.
I hope that the people of Boston catch him before the federal government does.
Yeah, I know.
We are such vigilantes in this country, aren't we?
Hey, amen.
Because Boston,
like
you pissed off the wrong people there. There's 2 places that you can really piss off. Boston and New York are probably the 2 places. And not to say Chicago's probably not close, in that mix, or Los Angeles, but New Yorkers hold grudges. We are a bitter people.
And you want to know the thing that's really not in their favor? New York, on the rare instance, is on Boston's side.
Yeah, that's never good.
Yeah. You got those 2 together, you're in trouble.
Yeah. Well, when it comes to stuff like that, that's what this country does best.
Well, absolutely. I mean,
you put all those sports feelings aside.
An 8-year-old kid lost his life, and his sister lost a leg. The mother's in trouble, and the father was running the race, and they can't get enough of what's coming to them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And that's the best way to put it.
And I hope that they didn't cop out and kill themselves. That's the thing that irritates me the most when stuff like that happens.
Yeah,
no, I don't think they. They're out there. They're, everybody that does this stuff they're cowards. But
right.
They're the extreme form of that at this point.
Yep.
All right. Back to racing.
Oh, wait. Okay. Okay, you're good.
Nope. We got to get our picks in. So you won.
Yeah.
So you pick
last.
last.
What are we picking?
We're going to pick the Utica Rome opener.
Did we go? We didn't go over the results, did you?
Well, last week
from last week,
he won.
Who'd you pick last week?
He picked Stuart Friesen.
You had
Stu Friesen, yeah.
I finished second. I had Bobby Varon, and you finished third because you had the doctor.
I don't even remember where he finished.
So you get to pick first. I pick second, then you pick. And if you want to get in on us, you can, but you're down 16 points, I think. I'm in first by 1 point over you. You were ahead of me, but then this week...
You said we're picking what? Utica?
Utica Rome opener.
There's nothing else going on, right?
Right, Utica Rome opener.
Utica Rome. I guess I'll go with Stewie.
Okay, so just to make it clear, I'm who's picking? He's picking first?
He picked first because he was last.
Okay.
I'll pick second.
Last, right.
You pick third. You can pick fourth. Because you're handicapped to the rear because you weren't here the opening day.
Fine by me.
Yeah.
I'm good at bringing up the rear.
If you're smart, you'll pick a real winner, and then you can pick first next week.
Do the John Palmas handicap.
Good golly.
What are we at? Never mind.
I got a good one.
I could have got myself in trouble there. I'm going to pick Matt Shepard.
You going with Matt?
Yep. Who you got?
I want to say Bobby Varon.
There's no sale panels.
He's going. If it was the freaking New Yorker, you know who you're picking, or the Victoria.
I would have picked him.
Yeah. Dwayne Howard?
Mahaney.
Mike Mahaney, good pick. Not bad.
Jimmy Davis?
Yeah, not bad. Hey, not bad.
I talked to Jimmy down at Fonda. I was lucky enough to go down to Fonda for the icebreaker and got to talk with him. And
so has he got something going for
he
the
does.
whole year?
Yeah, Tom Sanford Racing, yeah. Yep.
What car is that?
41 car.
He's got some
so
stuff
the
coming.
same car that he is running Fonda with then?
Yep.
So they're running that car 2 nights a week?
Yep. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
I like Jimmy. I'm pulling for him.
I like it.
He's
That's
a good
cool.
guy.
Hey, I'd be
Jimmy's
fine
a
with
good
that.
dude.
Yeah.
I'd be fine with that, too. I like him. So, yeah.
Pat runs decent out there, too.
So I had to go with Shepard. I mean, former track champion, and he had some wins last year. So, and he was there. Let's see, how many times was he there? He made 13 starts, and he had 12 top 10 finishes, 9 top 5s. So, yeah, I won stats there.
So
other than Stewie's the best one.
So what
in terms of stats, if you look at numbers, if you're a stats guy, that's how I play these things.
Yep.
So what do the points look like then?
I'm up. I think it's a point or 2 points because you were a point ahead, but then you finished third this week.
last.
That hurt you, so
Right.
I jumped you. But it's like 16, 14, 6.
Because how did you decide?
I've got 6 points in 4
I
races.
did
How did you
4,
points?
3.
You mentioned
I said
4, 3,
it's
2,
4,
1?
3, 2, 1.
When there was 4 of us,
Right, and
so we're gonna. Are you gonna?
we'll
give
just
him Rich's
combine. We'll
points?
combine him with Mitch.
Yeah.
Mitch Post.
Mitch Post.
Mitch, Rich, and whoever
Yeah.
else. Whoever else is our
Ditch.
guest pick.
Ditch Post.
Ditch Post.
What did I get myself into?
You got no idea.
Oh, good Lord.
So you obviously didn't listen to the show before you agreed to come on here.
I do. You guys are all right. You guys take away from the.
Did you ever see Mitch?
Mitch, I've seen on occasion.
Did you see him?
And his brother Rich?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. I've seen them both.
So we're basing it off of stats, and we could all be wrong.
I use a pretty scientific formula. You asked me, and about 13 seconds afterwards, I was going to have to say something. So I went with Jimmy Davis.
Yeah.
He was the first guy that popped in my head. I said, you know what? He's a good dude.
See, I
He
always
deserves it.
base it on stats. That's what I look at, or something like the reason I picked Barron this past week because I watched the Short Track Supernationals last time Barron was there, and I'm like, you only lost by a car length, so how can you not?
Right.
Bridgeport. I'm like, yeah, let's pay. Sometimes you go with the gut though. Or you pester him until he picks the guy that you want him to pick, and then you take the guy that he took that you wanted. Dwayne Howard. That actually worked out for you. Me pestering you about that. To take Howard. You got second. Almost good enough to get first.
It did almost work.
It almost did. Almost backfired in my face.
I still think he won.
Okay.
He beat him to the line. I saw the video.
All right. So anyways, Utica Rome opens up Sunday. I know I'm excited. Everybody's excited. And then a week from tomorrow, the Lucas Oil Empire Super Sprints kick off the season. First full point show. So if Tony Stewart wins that, it counts.
Okay. Okay, Dino.
That's cool. Love it.
Call it what you want. It was labeled
man.
an ESS race. Smoke won it. Case closed.
Let's see if we can get him up to Can-Am, run against the Empire Super Sprints up there.
That would be. I've seen him at Can-Am with the All-Stars. Were you there that night?
No,
Awesome.
I was not.
Awesome.
I guess he's telling us something.
I wasn't done.
Oh,
No.
I thought you were done. The way you're starting to wrap that up.
I'm just kidding with you. You
Oh.
can keep going. You're the producer. You're supposed to tell me when I'm done.
Well, I thought you had something meaningful to say.
I don't ever have anything meaningful to say.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of the 31st Lap. Thanks for everybody for joining us. We'll catch you right back here again next week. Oh, no, we won't. Week after.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
ARDC New Egypt Saturday. Come on out.
There you go. That's from John.
www.fingerlakes1.com